Ye pronto brain saka kashe boy saka na wie bra so say ye de asombo fie beka jan hye pause e won kan UTV de and na uhwe na make am say this way chocolate drink and the coffee drink. Ye pronto brain saka kashe boy saka na wie bra so say ye de asombo fie beka jan hye pause e won kan we de bra na de bedi mo akutini bi and say and the Supreme Court atene mu no odansi ne to so mi so ma benda da Muhammad yin mu na akoko jina ye to na this council so e de mo e man so and say and the so e dey put COVID-19 mo bia emunani emfa emiso vaccine asesa manfo wo e dey bom ho ban efi COVID-19 ho no Malawi aban ne kire se emfa se South Africa for some do mo nye no wo mo de beye adwuma e se bi ka ho na me Agya Kwabena me de eson mo afi ye kase bo no emu ensem nie sedi enyina ye nimu no ade a oman yi anamontu awdo yetu se na be betumi aboa ama wo man etumi akọ nanim no aban ene ankorankro ne kuekwa awdo nyina so etumi eyebie na eno na mane boyen saka eche soko fifi mantamu a wo mo a ye afarefo no ye de boot yesu hyen bi ene outboard motors bi akomo se na be adwuma no ebetumi akọ nanim.
Empenimfo a wonum edi Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council no enim. Hen mo ni UTV nsentwrofo kasa ye abra a wonum ye nsentwrofo nhyiemu. O kire se wonum a ekopo no womo outboard motors bi ena omatuaka na womatuaka no empenimfo yi abo eye Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development omaboma besisa abre outboard motors na etese ye de ma wonum no wonsa enkan ifrafi etwam no march e besisa ye kase womuntimi enye hwe enu nti abranse ntwofo nhyiemu koso e wa anomabo emfimfini mantem no chairman ma council no ye na obrunum the boom out to miensa eno oni UTV nsentwofo kasa kire se wo ma chedodo empenimfo daso enam so ama enkrofo etata wo mo a wo me ye ho hwea enye yie
ya aforudomi efira wototu akaya honsanka besisi ara ode ohaw na babrase ode aboto afarefu homu no nkanka wa apofonyefo a wodi ayima woten ye wenyi sum de ihe kansiri mami mavis ha wokumsu na yi na amahen obobo modin na wa hwekwan bia ofada de mafiri na ayo hawa mefimfiri mantum afarofo na apofonyefo no mami ehimehimi ara ahwekwan bia ofada obenya afiri oda amahen ma yada ama ya aforodom ma hobu adwo ho nti yasra de president onabra tukujo ejuma ya odo wenyi mariye many bi financial abanya adwuma na ombomade no yene wojedu wonu mu da sadi adwuma biara hyanensa obaya ne pepepe
eno achi no nananom afarefo ni bi na wo mo eka council ne ho bi ene UTV nsentwrofo ekasae
obi a ono bianya afalfa ote ye afalfa ne ya kasa pa de ye yesua ote ne pa oya atokujo ya kano kware ya da akira mu amampen yesra ne ya pan chaw nsa de yense ye nya afalfa no na yesra ne de atokujo no omamadian na wo mama we yi minister of fisheries na omama ye ne deputy no mboanye amama ya asam no okọ no obenyin no wa obotumi eduma ame na asom na ye hu aharenya.
We have met the ministers, several ministers, for that Tukujo. He did well. You congratulate him at Tukujo because I'm the chief fisherman of Ekunfi Uto, and then Atukujo helped us for the fishing side. He did the best for us. So we prayed to Nana to help Atukujo.
Ekwabi apuemantem a ese from East Media for Development. Omo de da tudwe chire mu say mampeni omo sere mampeni a say abrakrache form akomakunu bi o apuemantem a omadwuma so ani enti mampeni hwe na omo kwa no moto omadwuma so.
Ekoyidi at the Eastern Media for Development. One more asem nane say. One more guso eye nhwehwemu afa poyamantemu abankrache mpanimfo a wonum ewo empotemu ho. One more adwuma mo ye ne mfie nan num. One more ye adwuma emma empuntu eba one more pesua so. Oye nunti e na oto nsem yama ne mampanyin se de be ya wo betimi ahwe na wode nani ato saa neoma no na ama won mo a ebo wo homode na sa to awa adwuma so
yabotaye ne nyina se abehwe se mpuntu a ɛsɛfata sɛ pwe mantam nya no yɛbɛkɔ saa kono ne yɛnya sɛ fa kwan sɛ fa nsu sɛ fa suku sɛ fa bibia ɛbɛma onipa setram ayɛ pɛpɛpɛ wɔ pwe mantam ha no ɛno na yɛba bɛhwɛ afei bibie yɛ ne nso ne ahwɛ mmdc se ne ɛwɔ ha no nso ɔmonyuma ɔmo yɛ because ɔmo na ɔman pani apa wɔm so ɔmɛsi mansan ɔmo mɛsi na nam wɔ mansin ne mu enti sɛ ɛba saa ne de dwumadie bi hyɛ wɔn nsa na sɛ woanyɛ ne yɛ a ɛyɛ aborɔ ana wodo kuromufoɔ no enti nneɛma pa ɛwɔ sɛ all the 33 constituencies no ɛnya ɛfa mpuntuo ho no yɛba bɛ champion saa adeɛ no yɛde ani bɛdi akyira ha yɛni saa ma ɔma wie so si yɛbɛyɛ sɛ assembly no nso tena som project ɔmde asom nsa afe no nyinaa no ɛwɔ sɛ yɛhyɛ sɛ ɔmbɛyɛ because wo di project ne so na sika wɔ ho ɛsɛ sika ba ho nso deɛ a wɔ sɛ yɛhwɛ sɛ project bi a mode ato dwa bia no mobɛyɛ na yɛn team amufoɔ no yɛ ho atɔ yɛn na yɛtumi enjoy that project no since yɛbɛgya project no egu hɔ a yɛnyɛ ne saa some are not performing but yɛde ne nyina bɛba obi yɛ ade no obi nso nyɛ nti na ɔyɛ ade no yɛbɛka no anya ade nso yɛbɛsan frɛ mu bi mu na mɔba and the most wankasa munim sɛ ebi nya ade baya musuro sɛ mo bɛka be bold this time no man no ne kyekere no yɛka ho bi enti munim sɛ obi nya ade amo nso mo kan kyerɛ yɛn yɛbɛkɔ hɔ
sɛ yɛbi akwan a kuro ɛyɛ na yɛyɛ baabi afɔ pavement ɛhɔ ɛna yɛ nkrɔfoɔ fa na cars nso na aka akwan mu na nso amaga na mu de bitumi akisi dia sɛ ukɔ baabi a nkura kɛse ni nyinaa mu a pavement ɛsɛ nipa fa so hɔ na manfo di dwa nti ɛma wɔ mu a ɛsɛ sɛ fa pavement no so nante fa so no na ɔma bɛfa ka akwan mu ɛma kwanhyia bebree tumi esi ɛno ti UTV ya na musifo wɔ ma mu no nyinaa mu no yɛto ɔma pete sɛ ɔmo nkɔnkɔhwɛ sɛ anye bia pavement ahodoɔ ɛwɔ me ahodoɔ ɛsɛ ɔmo nkɔ no ɛhɔ nsɛm ɛte sɛn kyase giri ne yɛde no bɛhyɛ ase chas ɛmfa pɔte na wɔ na akɔ no pavement no ɛhɔ nsɛm te sɛn
yo sesiara me yoro kese Agya mo oye takrade market oye ahinko a western region aha na mo na ampa no kwa South America no pepepe seba sekendi takrade ha seba market sekra ho no yebaka de godzifa a wo ho de no yebaka man hu ha menwo manka ye otumo fa over 10,000 and more people ewo market ho ne sesiara me yoro kese odru bi no covid no ba mo di kana obai afia wa betinu kono mu no yenyim de aban bomodinara ne mpinfo ha bomodinara ye de government tintim aba o ma market ni ye fiaware ye de se eco market circle ni inside nkofo wa wodigwa around the market circle ne bohu de oye 3 ways e bi wo ha oye car tumu efa ewo market no mu ansana ababe pavement oye de dia gata ne dano nimpa etuma for ansana etu ho asan abakal kwan nankasem yeyi na circle de dia oye market circle before I be enter no lane odo ho nyinara ana kwana odo ho nyinara ode nimpa tumu fa no sesa me yoro kete dom abo apego a nimpa biara ntumu nya na mpo no mfa na ebo ho modinara no bi ni chefu tu ho ana obi ne nam tu ho ana de obi na ngo bi tu ho na wona nkokọ boda na ono Agya me kamede show de sa da me de nsike nyu ho a o da wo wo wontari nyinara wo bi tia da me nyama na kaw a wa ya how kase da me hen wo o ye market circle ha o ye dinare ji bebre nara so matade me si dupi de ye de da me nyama no aye politics bebre o sande e ke de ye ba boto abanu mu no wo mo hon kwan wo be digwa wo pe Christmas no so wo mo hon kwan da mara ye di Christmas yi no wa ye den papa o sande se da mo ahinkro no mu a o ye takrade constituency na nkasa na ye regional minister so na order no so ye ba kada ni vote no so order so papa nti o ye tinde mpanyimfu tumu wa sada de wo be si wona mpi de oh yamodom ya wo ha de yenyu won fi order no be ya car botuma afa anade nyimpo botuma ananto na wa ananto yie no dabi na bio so mo ye fu wo mbio so yin de sesiara nyimpa aba pego e o market circle anade takwadi kuro no mu no bi ba se social distance na yel kan wa sam na de Agya obey ken pa de ye botum ye do sa de enami biara wo hu entwi obi a wo hu bepim obi nti abata kwada ha de a mfonya owa ha yi ma ha de aye beje da mara na so da mara de obi no kokro mu mpena ona rankasa pedal no ho yie mpa o ye dzindo obutuma ahwe no ho yie ona covid ya wa be
yabeda se chasa jini yedi di fita kwade ba yenko na ye ne settlement so kaso set kaso ate say ho de amanfo pavement na so da ho nkrofo nam so boko ana
kaso Agya Kwabena say ka kaso de pavement no nipa ko anya ba bi mfa na sa wo fi Accra na wo ba kaso overhead na se ho no so wo fa ase a ka krampo no aye traffic so wo fa down ho na wo kwa ukofa down ho akofa so be ko new market na obomu road ana be ka so be ko yenya no na ofa overhead na se dia pavement no so no omo motom paboa omo motom watch omo motom blazer se to omo motom anka ye say omo motom paboa omo mo pamade omo nyina saso wo ten pavement no so nyina kaso a wo fi ewutu breku budum ram so ba na aka kamodu kaso a Otra police station kakra commercial bank no na wo bank so a free a ho ni nyina e de ba nyina no so e ho so the pavement so nyina omoto ade ho banche enwa kobi kako kontomre meko ni nyina omoto bi ho ufi udu overhead na so roundabout no be twa ne say no so pavement no so no ukoyenya no road a ho the pavement de kubefo ho omoto nkokọ si ho kese just pavement e waka so nyina no ayade a omoto ade wo so na no na ebusa mani bi se e ba ne san e na Agya omoto ade we e ha omo ntimi fa so so mam e na mani so and then 3 days ya car kra bi ti free e betwi fa mami bi na so mami ba kokwa ne na mabu enti ayade omusuro enso nya de omu wo ba bia omotena e de to ade omo che patapata ne ma omo no market wo no ayema etomu nya ba bia antena many others for between come others for class ya bus stop no crampo no e ma no to ade ho enti so bi ufi camp over ana so be obi be si wo hospital polyclinic nani mo kwa no bus stop na ho no e ma na sedwa ho etu nya ba bia nyina se so nya traffic ni no o wo so ka na nipa ni si ansa na what ye to akọ enti drivers for say e ho mo papa ka so ade pavement ni so nyina ye to ade na me bu so mo say na asamre no e ne betwa mo so mo nta on to ade ana o mo kire say asamre no de onje o mo hwe na text 1 cedi e dey bia mo do 1 cedi e dey bia 1 cedi enti o ho mo pa e na me nu amanfo a on mo so nam a o mo ko e kire e bu so mo say na aya mo nronfo for pavement isi amanfo a mo to nyema wo so ho kana hwegu ade na ye isi o se hwe blaba kokura se hwe anadu ya efiadai na e market de mi betwam mami bi kako o se ma me ho aka ma na gu pom nka kako de nko betua asesa kwa na nka apan o so on twe kako ni nyina aka enta ya ai how mo nante a mo kodi o mo dwane ade no pe bendo so amba na so ade no so ho ka obi ade na hwegu a mo watua kan so wako aya so ba nipa no ba yiri waso watale ma joso wa enti kaso ade pavement ni so nyina da ye to ade ho ba bi kwa ni ho a nipa kwa befa bus stop ho eno so ye to ade ho enti me bomodi akọ asamre ho se many MC honorable Machesu Amensa aka Adwumawura mene ne ba kwotwetwe nkomo na me kwaye no me no ka sense see so omo ye meeting piaso den ni anya ne nkasai ono ye ne kasa na egusa ne se pavement no so si ama no e company so munya ba bi ntanti no mo ti pavement no e to ade no na nti se si ano ade pa no betu afa ho na no mo be na samne no betimi aya afa ho a e ma no betimi afi pavement no mo pe ba bia mo makotena owi a begusa no ho asam eno achi no ye fa nkame atiefo
asi kaso ade no na yenko sunyan miame die mu na William Arthur mbisa ne se sunyan no na nabosoma dwamu na wo ana se wo hefa potin na ho pavement sunyan de nim se ho ye neat pa ana se wasesa
Agya Kwabena me so bo sunyan na sonya wo ka no sunyan de ye ka one of the cleanest city e wo Ghana ha so a sunyan e ka ho bi na oba sunyan mantem ha se no dia no eye pavement a man for hye nyoma e wo so bibiri sa ne je sunyan ha no Agya Kwabena o ye wo ebi hye da eni ha sa eye oba masum ga no eye main market na esa kal kwan a eda ho no na eye before no omu nkuchi sa ka kwan no na first no kwa na sa ka kwan no my no one way it's na ma before no ba kwan pa na ho no eye so ma mpanimfoɔ ɛyɛ hyɛ sɛ sɛnea saa na kyɛ de ɔmbɛyɛ saa kwan no double rule sɛ dɛ bɛntia pamo ɛma ɛyɛ bɛgyadifoɔ na ɔmo akɔ akyire kakra ɛti wobɛsunyan ha no a ɛhɔ kakra no na agya kɔma sɛ ha sei no ɔmo di dwa ɛde nkuada na ɛdi nkuada no deɛ a ɛno deɛ no kurom ɛyɛ menyamenya ɛyɛ nanabosoma market hɔ ɛne main market hɔ ɛna de fa Sam Bennett ntam hɔ no ɛde kɔfa Coronation Park hɔ ne nyinaa no ɛyɛ ana ne twenya manfo akyi hɔ ne nyinaa no na ɛhɔ no deɛ ɛdi nkuada deɛ a ɛyɛ na kurom deɛ encroaches no a ɔmo ɛyɛ hawkers no deɛ ɔmo nyinaa ba kɔn anim bɛbɛto adeɛ ɛna Kwasiada nso ɛyɛ wɔn a wɔtɔn ntaareɛ ɛne aboa ne saa nneɛma no so ɛna wɔde ba ɛyɛ Joe Bennett anim hɔ ɛde sane kɔ ɛyɛ green light hɔ ɛde ba ɛyɛ dimpado nsan n'ase hɔ na ɔnyinaa no ɛyɛ hawkers no ɛyɛ ɛbɛfa ɛhɔ ne nyinaa fa na before ɔte ebi bronya no ɛna mpanyinfoɔ ɛde nhyehyɛe bi ɛto kwan mu sɛ sɛ dɛ bɛyɛ a sunyane ɛnyere so bebree no saa agyadefoɔ no yɛbɛma ɔmo time a ɔmo nyinaa de bɛba eti ɛna yɛma a ebi kɔ ɛyɛ Jubilee Park ɛyɛ wɔn a wɔtɔn ntaare ne adeɛ no yɛma ebi kɔ Jubilee Park sɛ dɛ bɛyɛ a ekuru bɛda hɔ yɛma ebi so kɔ ɛyɛ Bosoma Dwom a tie no ɔmo abobɔ apata ne adeɛ a ɔmo de ama ɔmo a ɔmo te hɔ eti ɛdɛ kɔm na ha deɛ ɔba ha ayɛ kɔkɔɔ ɛsɛ nkan na asefoɔ na wɔn no ɛyɛ so tape bebree no yɛha deɛ sɛnea sisi deɛ ha deɛ main tax bebree sɛ hawkers na agye kwan no mu afa ha deɛ sɛnea sisi dɛ Agya Kwabena de ɔno saa ɛna tie
awie yɛbɛda ase na sunya deɛ na ɛsɛ sɛ ɛhɔ a na yi ɔno nso ne nua William Atade ne di firi ɔba yɛka yɛ tiefoɔ ne ahwɛfoɔ nyinaa sɛ Supreme Court mpanyinfoɔ san bɛtena ase a yɛbɛsan kɔ hɔ na anototoɔ na ɛkɔ so no yɛkɔkɔtoa so ka sɛ bɔ no mu a so bɔ wura mu a yɛn nso yɛbɛda ne de akɔ sɛ sɛ wɔn nsɛm no ade a ɛsɛ yɛdi akyire yi pa na yɛnkɔ la pa sɛ ahoɔfɛ Jacob Kubi oh yes la pass one no kwan no mu da ho clear amanfo nam ho fan fo bi amre kura
na ka we so ba la pass ate ya e fi ni boy no de ko be take like
Jacob ola no twetwe sisiti sa wo be balance ho yi am kakran ka beda wase
mbada to minka
afi de ye
aha
hey ahoɔfɛ yesterday ma ufo nyina mu yesterday ola pass wo
hello
aha
wo
line no break pa cho so mbesa production team nso na mbesa mbesa friend fufu bi wa aha
is it that to me ka
uma na atiko uma na aba
I think the boy town junction the last summers no can you know American engineer or Ghana or no ebe yi before ni na 83 home like I mean you can say there pavement no so na the ajo so yeah can you be up to be do la pasta obesino that be honey ni ajo honey and I'm going to
with Jacob Gina Baby na wo no phone nyina no mu nyina baby na fe yenhwe se ho nsam etise na yenkona maybe some Macbaron so no hefa ana wo mark hefa pot na wo na pavement ho adwadie ni nasefo na ho tesai
yo Agya Kwabena say we Gan West Municipal Assembly and I say Gan West Municipality specifically Amasama na ba Amasama ha say ya pavement so at the turn I bet that to say that's the trade of say hona ni padodo na ton wa de ne ade omotonton can say for mo aduane all manner of things clothing ne ne mo do shoes ne ade na ajikwan no so fa ma omo e so pavement no mo faso pedestrian sense an ko faso no e so mo na lord kwan mo na mo ko di akwani aba ana me bisa this no ya court ho na me bisa na ona work na working see ana o chia say about the pavement no so at the turn the munim na ne nja ko ba na sa no say covid de ba no ade say some ma social distance and physical distancing about market no enti ni padodo o mo yiye no traders do o mo yiye no at the moment no almost some to mean come when you am go market no onye bebre enti na one more kwan say o mo tonton ade na o mo tumi tete o mo market no na make it say aba no sa na nipa no enti me fa nipa san ko mo fa no payment no so no for safety sake no o mo tumi fa so And I say no mama kwan kakra ba o sha hodo ehu pe hia se edumu aba to ade no kasa lori kwan no so a enya sam ko moton lori kwan no so ho na o say order the task force no so mo mpo eyi lori kwan na kasa so enfiri ho nti no ne justification say the engine perform to ade o pavement no so do na say COVID-19 bre mu ba de no a so anu aye de no say traders no bi mu ba pavement no so no mutem na yare no and spread it can west hadie o sha ma traffic crowd for kakra we ni mo the baby bus stop crowd na ko shesho mo nyama o ho atu so de na ade o mo ton o ho ama pedestrians so mo nya kwan e jam bia na so mo dam ho no mo ntumi fa ho jama ko no so ay basa ba according to assembly no na the BC MC no pass say obekọ so ahwe say sanity baba because omo mom ton nyama no ko mo nyina nya basa basa o fa assembly ni mo ho nyina ba ho nyina so omo ton ade wo ho first no mo ton park no so na COVID-19 ba no mo ton school park so I say kala na bi school nti omo so at the time for nem kala ntumi emengo sa emomu enwo school park no nti no ma twoma do na pavement no so no eju ba ha dia say nipa do na pavement no so pa omo to ade a ama ai pedestrians na say omo dia kwane ba ho no so say kwan mu no mo fa ama no so say risky but the MC to me church the most COVID-19 tina ya ma do no kwan say omo ton ade wo do kwan no so
with the HN no ko bisa ne say de ayi na o se COVID-19 tina nkrofo say COVID-19 ne ko famu a say otu omo ho a ne tunu ebe mra na sense de cha de say nyina na fofrofo eba beka ho enti wunya no a vacancy no obisa sasa question ama me pa
yo waja
jo me da se Magbaro ne tene nka ewa amasamane ensan ko na hwese sisi Jacob Kubi ahofe oni ne phone no ma stadium na ahofe yes sir good yanko
yo if you new boy cosmo la femme be on moton ediane no last year no about to train our Ghana for be you omunyina e be free ho and so and o kan ko assembly no so almost be sa the media sa but na me no ka say the fona fa aba amaje e kwana fa afan nyina aboswa omuda ho na de ha kaka ni se pavement wo ho e se nipa e pasono and na ya che eja ho unam ho de obeti no obroni wa ma me aboka e mu yin low na mo che na hai ebi mo so etemo na ye nam no mo ton no min bomadi ni omo kasa e omo ka che ni se omo ni bebi a ye pa omo sisi a omo kwa kodi ejawo e ma bi se inti se sisi a omo che se ka bi ti fi sisi a na se we say be kan fa no obefa omo si nyame na ehwe omo kan aka se mini o ka se de bia anapa omo twa 1 cedi e de ma assignment ni sa assignment we yi omo efiri opa dia agi e bia wa pe bebi ama omo na bebi obe pa ma omo no so no agi bia nkofu twamu wo ho a omo diga nya sapa dia bebi omo te no ho anom betena
apia Kubi Joseph Kubi yadasi Jacob Kubi yadasi na la passe asamu de ndi nyina yinim se de hositie na yemfansi ye na yenkonsam fufuru mo biripa mu no yana musifo wo kumase edum kejeti ampota mu ho no ene pampa so na sifo nyina be se won so ehote sen na yenko ne nkodi koku kakra na yenhwe na kokobo de hihye biaba a mo chese serebe ye koku e betumi de nya hoden ti no omada dwumede bi de omfra no se di koku nya hoden na oman Ghana enyi na say eat chocolate, stay healthy and grow Ghana. Na bejo kasama for the makoko board fifi buafo and the sanse mitu your bra na on UTV edin komo.
National Chocolate Week na watcha yesi was ye nyina no ye de edin komo ye de borderu na ya twen adwen agina so de enti a ehia se was chocolate products ye di meka chocolate product ye wo chocolate bar, chocolate drink, ye wo nko a ye de cocoa na de ye besra bi ye waduro kra na efri cocoa mu ene bae ye nyina na ye bebo ho daru esan se ye di chocolate product ya emfaso a ewo ede maye no enye mfaso ketewa emfaso bi ewo de maye ne se emwa ahoden a boost immune system in fact if you mu kra da na de se emema omo no ho ahwan bi test to boost their omo mema yo no wonom saa cocoa products ya ɛma saa hoɔden no ɛwɔ kwan bodo a boa yɛn ma yɛtumi egyina yie sɛ nipa da sani sɛ yɛtumi boa na yɛ consume saa cocoa product ya ɛsan so wɔ kwan wodo bebree fa so ɛde boa ɔman ne sikasɛm ebetumi ama nkɔfoɔ abebie nnwuma ɛwɔ ha sɛ ɛde process saa product yi bi ɔmo ba bebie nnwuma na yɛayɛ nkwadaa na ɔmo bɛfa wɔn yɛayɛ busuafoɔ na ɛbɛyɛ adwuma wɔm ɔmo ne bank ahodoɔ na ɛbɛdi nkita ho radio stations ɛwɔ Ghana na ɔmo bɛbɔ ho dawuro Ghana car na ɔmo bɛfo akɔ adwuma nti ɛboa mɔman no etumi etu mpɔn afei ɛno san so koraa da nkyɛn a ɛbɛma kokoo na yɛkɔkɔtɔn no ama no ne koraa no ɛboɔ no atumi aba soro ɛba soro a Ghana nkɔfoɔ ɛdan kokoo adwuma ansa na wɔdidi no wɔn dɔɔso nti ebetumi aboa Ghana kokoo akuafoɔ nso koraa ma wɔn nso adwuma no etumi akɔ soro deɛ yɛhwɛ free Ghana ne bia hɔ ne sɛ na wɔtwe deɛ anka ensa na bɛkɔ na wieɛ no ɛsɛ odi chocolate sɛ wɔnom chocolate drink anaa suppose sɛ wɔdi chocolate bar na wɔtwa picture wɔahyɛ ɛwɔ social media ama nkɔfoɔ nso ahu na de wɔbɔ no etumi akɔ so ɛho nkɔmɔ no etumi akɔ so.
ɛno nti na de so chocolate drink de ni ho agro no wonum a yɛsi hore tea ɛma hoden rough mummy ba ma ba setena nti wo mokɔ wi a yɛbɛsan aba na yɛabɛto yɛka se bɔ no so.
I'm putting it to you that you had a functioning phone with you at the time you were leaving the National Coalition Center.
You said what with me?
A functioning mobile phone.
Yes, I had an iPhone that was functioning.
Yes. And indeed, it was the same phone that you allege you used in an attempt to reach the EC chair.
At various times, yes. In some instances, I got her, and at other times, her phone was off.
Now, I'm putting it to you that nowhere in your witness statement do you demonstrate with numbers how your alleged errors in the figures impacted in any material way the final outcome of the 2020 presidential elections. Nowhere.
My Lord, it's not a matter of figures. It's not a matter of figures being put in my witness statements. It has more to do with a trend of anomalies, several anomalies. And we were seeking a forum for a proper presentation of those issues.
Okay.
We were seeking a forum for the proper presentation of those issues.
Well,
for example,
well said.
Can I give an example?
You can't give examples here. Now,
for an example.
Now I'm referring.
Respectfully, why can he not give an example?
Because I'm referring to his witness statement.
He's cross-examining. The witness is saying, I want to give an example to explain my answer. Why is that disallowed?
Mr. Metumunu, you can go ahead with your examples.
My Lord, for example, the Eastern Region 2 summary sheets that were presented, but in one of them, Nanado had much higher figures being attributed to him. The petitioners' votes were reduced, and similarly, all the other presidential candidates also had their figures reduced. But the totals of that second summary sheet was the same. That was the specific fraud. That was the specific manipulation. That was the specific anomalies that we're referring to. How is it possible that the same regional office can submit two separate results? On the face of it, the total vote cast is the same, but then the vote attributed to each of the candidates was taken.
And in one of them, our candidate was not present to sign or to vet or verify. And then you are tendering both of them. Which of them is the original and which of them is the genuine result? Which of them? In another instance, you have a whole constituency, the results not recorded, and yet the summary sheet has been submitted by the EC regional representative of the returning officer. And if I sign that in error, and I come back and tell you that I have observed that that is an error, why can you not address it? Because the regional summary must have 100% of all the constituencies' results as tabulated, and not that you have one omitted. It cannot stand as a summary. And in the same instance of examples, I observed several of those summary sheets having errors in figures and words which affected the summary of the total.
Yes. So,
several of them.
So my point here is that you have not given this court the details of the figure as to affect the outcome of the elections. That's the point I'm making. I'm putting it to you.
My Lord, the question is muffled.
Have you not given?
The question is muffled. I can't hear the question properly.
I'm saying, putting it to you, that you have not presented to this court the details of the figures that have a material effect on the overall outcome of the 2020 presidential elections. That's what I'm putting to you. And it's on the
My lords,
of the record.
My lords, I have alluded to anomalies that, if tabulated, would add up to the figures. I have raised in my statement of 32 points that in specific anomalies that I noted, this was the case. How is it that that does not refer to figures? I may not have given you specific figures, but I've given you instances in Ashanti, in Eastern Region, in Bono East, in Northern Region, in Greater Accra. In Eastern Region, where these things have been seen and noted, it's a reference to the mathematical infractions. It's a reference. And if the court was well, please, you've asked the question. The candidates you represent, they benefited hugely from these anomalies that I'm referring to, benefited, and that resulted in the board result that was declared.
See, I don't know. The whole your cross-examination is on I put it to you, I put it to you, I put it to you. Now, I'm wondering whether that's all that lawyers do in a courtroom. I put it to you, I put it to you, I put it to you.
My Lord.
Because this is cross-examination.
Yes, my Lord.
And what I'm expecting is witness control.
Yes, my Lord.
And because there's no witness control, that's why the witness is going on a tangent. And I don't know how many more I put it to use you have before we close this.
My Lords, the record of his evidence is before the court. If I put it to him and he's saying something else, that is a journey in futility.
But why not exercise witness control? There's a way in cross-examination to control the witness. So to agree with what you want the witness rather than to leave the witness and to go on a tangent, because we can continue with this for the next.
So, Mr. Metanunu, you see, in the Eastern region, you will see from the record that a whole constituency's vote was omitted in the first summary sheet of the region. So what happens in the second summary sheet was...
My Lords, respectfully, the counsel cannot give evidence. Counsel cannot give evidence. What happened in the second sheet, that's evidence. It cannot be allowed as a question.
See, Mr. Metanunu, the first witness of the petitioner appeared before this court and admitted to the correctness of the second summary sheet for Eastern Region.
My Lord, that is not an accurate account of that first witness's cross-examination. In any case, that witness
for address, please.
No. Mr. Metonunu, I am saying that you should take a look at the two summary sheets from Eastern Region.
Which summary sheet are you referring to?
The Eastern Region summary sheets.
You must refer to a specific time of transmission because that will tell me which one. Is it the summary sheet? Is it the summary sheet
please listen to the
that was collated at 9:39 a.m.? Is that the summary sheet of 9:39 a.m.?
Mr. Metununu, you said there were two summary sheets from the Eastern Region. The lawyer is asking you a very simple question. He says, look at the two summary sheets from Eastern Region. You look at it, and maybe the question will follow. You don't go off like we are going. You not even finish today the way you want to over-elaborate on some of these simple matters. He said, just look at the two summary sheets from Eastern Region. Then you leave him to follow up with his question. That is all. If it is not before you,
very well.
If it is before you,
very well, my lord. Very well, my lord.
Now, you will notice that in the first summary sheet, which you signed, you have as the total valid votes 1,196,751 as the total valid votes.
That is not what I have in front of me. The total valid votes here is 1,236,940.
So just pay attention. You see, on the second but last column, you see 1,196,751. Done okay.
I am not sure I am seeing what you are talking about.
I'm talking about the second but last column of the columns on that summary sheet. Second but last column.
My lord, I cannot see the specific reference to which you are. I cannot see it.
Where you have total valid votes. Second but last column. Where you have total valid votes.
And also, I think it will help all of us if we know exactly what document is being referred to, because I think we really.
Yes.
And if we.
the witness may see where we are going.
Two are attached to Mr. Sejun Ketia's witness station.
He may not have.
Yes.
But there are two different times.
Yes.
So mention which one you are referring to. So the witness will know.
I'm referring to my Lord, it's not this 8:56 a.m. p.m. Sorry, it's 8:56 p.m. on the 8th of December.
The documents, yes, they're referring to Asidu. This is in reference to Asidu Nketiah's witness statement. And in reference to that witness statement, to the extent that it relates to Eastern region, I do not see the 8-something p.m. Yeah.
Mr. Apotampo. One
came at 6:40 p.m. Exactly.
9:39.
Exactly. Exactly. That is what we also have.
Yeah.
My learned friend has been. I'm sorry. Yes, but I'm saying apparently he has a different one because he's quoting from a document which he says showed up at 8-something.
No.
That's what he said.
My Lord,
maybe he can show us the 8 p.m. one so that we see whether it fits with anything that we have.
my Lords, that's the first document.
Mr. Kotambo.
Yes, my lady.
Mr. Sidon pretended to
Yes.
headed Eastern region. Both were signed by the Regional Coalition Officer Faith Amejake. Is that what you have?
Yes, my Lords. There is the one with the blue stamp.
That's 9:39.
That's the 9:31.
Yeah.
9:39
Yes. And then there's an earlier one.
No. We don't have an earlier one. We have a later one which is 6:40 p.m.
The 8th on it is the date.
Yes.
8/12/2020 is a date.
Yes. Which is 6:40 a.m.
Yes.
40 p.m.
It's
p.m.
Put on your spectacles, Mr. Kotambo.
Oh. My lady, I think that
I was only teasing. It's
something different from what we are speaking to.
No, my Lord, we do not. Now, our point is, if one were to add yes, my Lord, if one were to add all the figures attributed to the different candidates, on the one with the blue mark,
That's 9:39.
yes. Which does not have your signature. You arrive at 1,236,440. 940, sorry. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yes. My lords, because there is an error of addition when you go through the...
My lords, that is correct.
Yes.
You will get 1,236,940.
Very well. Now, if you take the summary sheet that you signed and you do the addition of the actual figures, you will see that it is less 40,189 of the 1,236,940. In other words, if you add all the figures, the votes that the candidates obtain, you will get a total which is less of 1,236,940.
I think you're overloading your question. You should break it down.
Okay. So I'm putting it to you that if you add all the figures on the sheet that you signed, you get a total of 1,196,751. That's the actual total you get.
My lords, if I may.
Go ahead.
If you look at the totals without looking at the attributed figures to each candidate, you'll be making a big mistake.
Asking you the figure that you get. Please, when you respond to it, then you can give your commentary.
That is correct. That is correct. Can I go on now with the explanation?
Hold on. So
on the 9:39 a.m. figure, you find that they gave to Nana Addo 752,061, and on another sheet he gets 729,146. But the total number of votes cast is the same. The total number of votes cast in the two documents in contention are the same.
So just take your time. So I'm saying
the number of votes cast is the same.
Yes, hold on. I'm saying that the difference between the 1,196,751 and the 1,236,940 is 40,189. That's the difference.
That is the case.
Yes. And that figure of votes is exactly the total valid votes cast in Asensuano, Ahinsiano.
Mr. Akutuamba.
Yes.
You did this with the Mr. Asidun Kitia.
Yes.
So what are you trying to do now? Get something different or to corroborate him or what?
My Lord, that's why I put it to him, that this was, as Asidun Kitia actually admitted that there was an error. Very well.
It's not the admission. Yes, and to add up, Mr. Asidun Kitia, it was he who attached these documents to his witness statement.
Yes.
You have cross-examined him on it. He has admitted the difference. Mr. Metunono has not attached any such thing to his witness statement. Right. Why do you cross-examine him on somebody else's documents?
No, my Lord, he referred to it in his response. That's why. No. So, you see, I am suggesting to you that nowhere in your witness statement do you show how your alleged lack of transparency and consultation had an impact on the final outcome of the elections. You have not shown it.
My Lord, that is correct. But I made an aversion that there were anomalies, that there were serious anomalies.
My Lord, that will be all for the witness.
No re-examination, my Lord.
There will be some few questions from the bench.
Good. Mr. Rojo Metunono, you have admitted in this court that you left at a point in time to go and see the petitioner. Is that so?
That is correct, my Lord.
You have also admitted that you signed most of the summary sheets, the original summary sheets, 13 of them. Out of 16.
That is correct.
Good. Now, did you sign these summary sheets before you left to see the petitioner?
Yes, I did sign the 13th before going to see the petitioner.
Okay, thank you.
Can the witness be discharged, Your Lordships?
By court, PW3 is discharged as a witness.
Most grateful. That is the end of our case.
Okay. By court, the case for the petitioner is closed. Yes. Yes, Mr. Aminuvo.
My Lord, with respect, it's our submission that in view of the evidence led by the witnesses of the petitioner and our cross-examination so far, speaking for the first respondent, I'm of the view that there's sufficient evidence before the court for this petition to be determined. And therefore, my Lord, yes, my Lord, I was saying that given the evidence of the petitioner's witnesses and the cross-examination so far, and the cross-examination so far of those witnesses. My lords, speaking for the first respondent. Yes, my lords, it is the first respondent's case that we do not wish to lead any further evidence, and therefore we are praying that this matter proceeds under Order 36, Rule 4.3, and CI 87, Rule 3E5. And we hereby, on that basis, close our case. That is so. That is so.
Mr. Menuvo,
yes, my lord.
What then happens to your witness statement?
Well, my lords, under CI...
You file a witness statement.
Yes, my lords.
And the witness statement is supposed to be subjected, it's going to stand as your evidence in chief.
Yes, my lords.
And therefore, it's supposed to be subjected to cross-examination.
Yes. My lords, under CI 87 Rule 3E5, where if a party who has served a witness statement does not call the witness to give evidence at the trial or put a witness statement in as hearsay evidence, any other party may put that witness statement in as hearsay evidence. So, my lords, we are saying that we are not calling any further witness. If the court decides to treat our witness statement as hearsay evidence, well, the court is entitled to, but we are not leading any further evidence. We are not calling evidence.
The rules say the court can treat it as hearsay. So any party?
No, the party, a party, not the court.
So
sorry.
Not the court. Yeah.
The other side can treat it as such. Thank you.
My lords, respectfully, we need to understand the nature of what is being put forward clearly.
In a nutshell, it is our submission that given the evidence from the petitioner, petitioner's witnesses, and the cross-examination so far, speaking for the first respondent, we do not wish to lead any evidence. We submit that we are not calling any evidence and close our case. Then he refers to Order 36.
Order. You refer to Order 36. Yes, sir. Order 36.
My lords, Order 36, Rule 4.3, with your kind permission, if I may read. Where the defendant elects of CI 47, my lords.
Yeah.
Where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence, then whether or not the defendant has in the course of cross-examination of a witness for the plaintiff or otherwise put in a document, the plaintiff may, after the evidence on behalf of the plaintiff has been given, close the plaintiff's case, and the defendant may then state the case for the defendant.
Respectfully.
Yes, my lord, CI 87 on what will happen to the witness statement if you choose not to enter the box, my lords. Rule 3, that's sub rule 3E sub 5.
The alternative is to have it.
It is our respectful submission that counsel for the first respondent does not have it open to him to take the course that he just proposed to this court. Order 36 Rule 4.3 that he refers to specifically says where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence. In these proceedings, the defendant has put in a witness statement. So, my Lord, I'm sorry.
Yet evidence. It is just a statement.
My Lord, what this provision says, where they elect not to adduce evidence. And what I'm saying is that the election that they made to submit the witness statement to the court is a clear indication that they made an election to the contrary. Because, my lords, in these proceedings, at the point of case management, your lordships basically ask questions from all the parties as regards witnesses being called. And it is at the point of case management where such an election is notified to the court. At that point, they elected to submit a witness statement. Now, that witness statement is not yet in evidence. That is true. But this is referring to an election. The point of election came at the point of the case management. And we are respectfully submitting that this witness cannot run away from cross-examination when they have elected. My Lord, when they have elected, that is the point. They have elected to
the language, please.
Oh, my Lord,
maybe you can
my Lord,
but run away.
My Lord,
it is being a telecast, and people may
very well.
interpret it.
I will adopt your words. So if your lordship,
yeah, he's evading.
My Lord, I will totally adopt your lordship. I will totally.
Yeah, please, you have the opportunity to. Yes.
Yes. Assuming we were not dealing with witness statements.
I'm sorry.
Assuming we were not dealing with witness statements, and we were giving oral viva voce evidence, when would you say that a party has elected not to give evidence? Assuming we were not using witness statements.
At the case management stage. If the party at the case management, my Lord, at the case management stage, the party may, no, otherwise the case management stage is meaningless.
No. If a party is called upon to testify, and then he tells the court, I do not intend to testify, that is when we will say that the party is not willing to adduce evidence.
My Lord, respectfully, that is not the situation under the rules as amended to provide for case management.
Order 36 is proceedings at trial. So we have moved into trial stage. Order 36 deals with proceedings at trial.
I appreciate that, and the point I'm making is that Order 36 is premised on where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence. So, my lords, what I'm saying respectfully is that in the context, Order CI 47 obviously precedes CI 87. And in the context of CI 87 and the provisions for case management, the case management context is a context in which for the purpose of a trial, the judge asks the parties how they are going to proceed. That's what I understand case management. Your lordships have had many point out the significance of the case management process. And my respectful submission is that it is in that case management process where, one, the party gives an indication to the court that I intend to call these witnesses. Now, if the party gives that indication, then respectfully, the party has made an election to adduce evidence. And my lords, that is the basis on which the court made orders at the stage of case management as to when witness statements should be put in. The court made orders on the basis of the election that they had.
So, no, Mr. Giza, a point of correction. The orders for witness statements is made at the application for direction stage and not at the case management.
The orders
is made on the order 32.
Yes,
at the application for direction stage.
But my lord, that is the situation here is different from the pure high court situation, because in this case, at the case management stage, in this situation, we did not have a direct application for directions, my lord. We did not have that. I believe that's common ground between us. So in this case, we move to the case management stage. And in the case management stage, the court makes orders on the basis of representations that are made to the court by the parties. And respectfully, the representation that was made to the court at that stage is that we are going to call a witness, and we will provide a witness statement on behalf of that witness. That's the clear indication that they gave. Otherwise, the court would not have made an order, submit your witness statement by such and such a date. That is very clear, my lord.
I wish to come in, Mr. Chikata. Now, are you saying that if you decide to call 5 or 6 witnesses and you put in 5 or 6 witness statements, you cannot at any point in time tell the court that though you have put in 6 witness statements, you are not going to call all the 6. Can't you say that?
My lords, you can say that.
Yes, please.
My lords, you can say that, but that is not what is dealt with in Order 36.3, which is what they're coming.
You see, under the normal civil procedure, if the prosecution closes its case, and that may be the plaintiffs, that's what I'm using prosecution in the civil sense, for the plaintiffs.
My lords, with the greatest respect, yes, let's just stick to what we're familiar with. If you say prosecution in the civil...
Okay, so if the plaintiff closes his case, and the defendant realizes that the case the plaintiff has made has no substance, or does not establish the reliefs he is claiming, and there will be no need for him to testify, you know, he can tell the court that he will not testify. And then he will be put to his election. Whether, if the court rules in respect of his application, he will still testify or he will not testify.
My lord,
that is the procedure.
My lord, with the greatest respect, that is not the procedure under our rules. With the greatest respect, that procedure may apply under the English civil procedure rules, but it does not apply under our rules. And with the greatest respect, if I'm wrong in that, I would stand to be corrected. Which rule under our rules has that provision?
It's a settled practice.
My lord,
we adopt. So are you saying that, my lord, a party cannot say that I will not testify, judge the case according to the evidence you have?
My lords,
because you cannot compel anybody to testify.
My lords, with the greatest respect, my lords, with the greatest
order in court, please.
With the greatest respect, I wish to take it a step at a time. If your lordship is referring to a submission of no case at the end of testimony, if that's what your lordship is adverting to,
My respectful submission is that, one, under English common law, it is in fact not available in a trial which is not before the jury. Under common law, the authorities are clear that that process that your lordship just described is not available. And I am prepared to cite some authorities in the common law which make that clear, including a well-known case of Alexander and Rayson. But, my lord, before coming to that, I just wish to clarify that the common law position is very clear. Where there is a jury, it is open under the common law. Where there's a jury, it is open for where there's a jury, it is open for the plaintiff to say indeed that I don't want the matter to go before the jury. I'm ending at the point of the trial judge. But the common law position that has been clearly stated in the English Court of Appeal is that where there is only a judge and not a jury, that procedure is unacceptable. And there's a very clear reason given for it in the authorities, which I'll come to. But, my lord, I want to...
Mr. Chigat, I want to understand something. Are you suggesting that a party can be compelled to give evidence?
My lord, that is not what I'm suggesting. I'm just suggesting that Order 36, Rule 3, applies in terms of the precondition that is put there. In terms of the precondition, it says where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence, then whether or not the defendant, and I'm saying respectfully that in this case, the first respondent elected to give evidence and notify the court as such. The first defendant elected to give evidence, notify the court as such, and on that basis, the court made an order for a witness statement to be provided.
Mr. Chikata, you are aware that at case management stage, nobody knows the evidence that the other is bringing. It is after case management audits that the testimonies come in. Is that not it?
Very clear. I mean that's a matter of chronological necessity, because that is a chronological necessity. A case management happens before witnesses are called to testify, so there can't be any doubts about that. I'm referring to the fact that under Order 36.3, which counsel for the first defendant is seeking to come under. And, my lord, this is also different from the submission of no case under the common law.
Excuse me. Order 36 for sub-rules 2 and 3 together. It says, subject to sub-rules, the plaintiff shall begin by opening the plaintiff's case. Then 2, where the defendant elects not to adduce, 3, where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence. It presupposes that the plaintiff has finished his case. That is my understanding. I stand to be corrected.
My lord, respectfully, that cannot. Respectfully, that cannot be the case. Because, my lord, Order 36.4.3, and respectfully, as I said, those rules predated CI 87 on case management. CI 87 introduces case management, on the basis of which your lordships have proceeded and given orders. And respectfully, I'm submitting that under the terms of CI 47, Order 36, Rule 3, where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence is a precondition for that. And in this case, the defendant at the case management stage represented
that they would adduce evidence, and therefore that precondition does not exist. And the defendant made those representations to the court and to the court in a manner which led your lordships to determine.
Mr. Chikata, may I seek clarification?
Yes, my lord.
Are you suggesting that under the case management regime, a defendant who indicates to the court before evidence is taken that I will call one or two witnesses in this matter, then after the plaintiff has given evidence, the defendant says, I don't think I need to call any evidence. Determine the matter on the basis of what the plaintiff has brought. Cannot do so?
Yes, my lord, I'm saying that he cannot do so where the court, on the basis of their representation, has ordered witness statements to be submitted. Because where he does that, he has elected other than what is provided for in Order 3643. Where he makes that election at the case management stage, and the court has made an order appropriately.
Mr. Secretary, you realize that Order 36 Rule 4 is only regulating order of speeches.
My lord, I didn't quite.
Order 36 Rule 4.
Yes, that's the
it's
next.
only regulating the order of speeches. That's all that the rule is seeking to do. But I tried.
Yes, but my lord.
But how can the law state that a party compel a party to give evidence by all means?
No, my lords, respectfully, if you say that the order of speeches is all that.
Yes, what is that? Order of speeches.
Yes. My lords, that's a head note, and your lordship knows very well that the head note does not settle the interpretation of the provisions. I mean, Bernard Mona's case is a classic instance where the head note was shown to be completely different. And in fact, if we were only dealing with order of speeches, then my learned friend is completely out of court, because if that provision is only to do with order of speeches, then he cannot, on the basis of that, be asking your lordships to do or be telling the court what he told the court. If it's just order of speeches, then it will be interpreted as such. So it cannot be just order of speeches.
These proceedings are...
I'm sorry.
Of Order 36. These with proceedings are trapped.
Yes, but Order 36(4), as his lordship pointed out, it's order of speeches. That's what your lordship pointed out to me, and I agree. It says order of speeches. And I'm saying that the head note cannot limit the terms of that order, respectfully, because in fact, if your position were to be accepted, respectfully, then you should throw him out of court completely, because we are not yet at the point of order of speeches. We are not yet at that point. So if all that 36 Rule 4(3) is dealing with is order of speeches, then all he said is irrelevant, because we're not yet at order of speeches. But the reality of the matter is that that head note cannot limit the terms of Order 36 Rule 3. I believe that.
Mr. Chikata, isn't compelling someone to testify a human rights question?
Also, my lords, I'm sorry. My lords, this is new territory. I mean, I have to think about it, because frankly,
nobody can compel a party to testify.
My lords, frankly, I have to give considerable thought. In fact, yes, I have to give considerable thought to what you're saying, that you're not...
as I'm sitting here, I'm reviewing this whole thing.
Yes.
I mean, nobody can compel a party to testify.
My lord...
That's a very basic rule.
My lady, as I said, I mean, your ladyship has been part of a ruling in this court which said the right to vote is part of the directive principles of state policy.
Chigata, please, may I have your attention?
Yes.
Please, none of us, at least those on the bench, none of us anticipated this step. Exactly. So please come, both of you come and address us on this point tomorrow. Then you will give a ruling on it and then proceed accordingly.
My lords, I was actually going to make a similar submission because it is my respectful submission that for an application of this nature under Order 19, it should be made in terms of a motion paper and a supporting affidavit so that we can respond appropriately. Because, my lord, that application that is being made...
Please, with all respect, please, there's nothing factual about this application. Yes. Let's take it. If he comes tomorrow to raise this legal issue, you have the opportunity to reply. So please, just prepare.
Very well.
And bear with us tomorrow.
Very well. Very well.
Yes. Please, we want to know your position because you have also filed a witness statement.
Yes. My lords, we do not intend to call any witness.
Okay, then you prepare.
And my lord, let me complete. Order. We do not intend to call any witness because in our view, they have not satisfied the burden of proof. So we can't be forced to call any witness.
We don't want lengthy answers. Please, what we want you to do is to prepare, come and address us on it tomorrow. Then we will give a reasoned ruling on it and proceed accordingly. Thank you very much. Please, you will rise for the day.
I know.
Please be seated. Be seated, please.
Please, attention of the bench has been drawn to the fact that immediately after proceedings, counsel from both sides resort to granting interviews to the media. And at times, some of them keep on twisting the facts, which actually occurred in the court and seek to even prejudice whatever the court proceedings were. So lawyers who are engaged in it are to please have a look at Regulation 55 of LI 2423. Yes, that is the legal profession etiquette, conduct and etiquette rules. Please, if I may read 55C. So, a lawyer shall not publish or cause to be published a material concerning current or potential proceedings, including proceedings for which the lawyer is engaged or seek to be engaged, which is inaccurate or has received comment or necessary description. Then C, is calculated or is likely to a material degree to diminish or be prejudicial to the public confidence in the administration of justice. Please, I think both sides have been guilty of it. And especially my dear sister, Marietta. At times, yes, you made statement even touching on the demeanor of witnesses. So please, it's a passionate plea from the bench. Let's respect the ethical rules. Yes, Mr. Opon too, you were also guilty of it because you were at the news file, and we think that since you have been announced in this case, it is unacceptable. Yes. Mr. Meluvo, your name appears on this LI. Yes. So please, yes, as a member of the General Legal Council, so please, let's take our own rules seriously.
Yes, but my lord, speaking for myself, I have never...
No, I'm drawing your attention to it. Your name appears.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
So it is encouraged you not to do...
Yes.
Order in court, please. Order.
By court, this petition is hereby adjourned to Tuesday, the 9th of February 2021 at 9:30 a.m. for legal arguments. It's okay.
Mr. Chikata, you don't need a wig. No, you don't need it. You don't need it at all.
All rise.